सो इन प्रीवियस लेक्चर जितने भी हमने लास्ट टाइम पढ़ा था रिएक्ट के बारे में, सो वी अंडरस्टूड कि भाई रिएक्ट है क्या. ठीक है, व्हाट इज रिएक्ट जेएस एंड हाउ इट इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम जावास्क्रिप्ट. सो वी we understood all these four points, that it is a JavaScript library and it will help us to uh, build UI components, and it has something called as the virtual DOM to create the SPA apps. Okay, so what is JavaScript library and what are the UI components and the virtual DOM. We understood virtual DOM in deep, so like it's a very important concept in, especially in like React.js, and how it makes it uh, different from other frameworks and JavaScript libraries. And then we understood what is application and oh sorry. Okay. So I was telling ki in last lecture we did cover the basics of like what is React.js and how it is different from JavaScript. So we understood for these 4 points, that it is a JavaScript library. It will help us to build the UI components, and it has something called as the virtual DOM, and it will help us to create the SPA apps. Okay? And so what is JavaScript library and what are the UI components, and then we what is the virtual DOM, and understood the what is virtual DOM, because virtual DOM is very important in terms of React and how it is making it different from the other libraries in the framework. Okay, so we understood all its points, ki how it created, how it make what is the reconciliation, what is riffing algorithm, and then we understood what are the single page applications. Okay. Today we are going to initialize the React project into our code base. So initializing means कि भाई we are today we will start writing the React code. ठीक है. So initializing a React project means कि we are going to initialize a empty React project into our local machines. So how we are going to do that? We are going to do that with the help of the some commands. So before that, we have to just check whether we have installed the node or the npm version. So how you can check that? You can go to your command prompt and you can check that whether we have correct version or not. So you can write node version and in the same way npm version. So as I previously told you, these command like we will discuss about them in this particular today's lecture, but these commands are very important to initialize something or to install something from the world or to install something from the internet that is not in your local machine. Okay, so we have installed both of these previously. Okay, now bringing empty React project into your local machine. So now we are going to build our application using the React JavaScript library, right? So it is a type of it is a like we initialize this particular React into our local machines. Okay, so till now what we do like till now what we did is कि भाई we used to just create an HTML file, JavaScript file, and the CSS file, and then we used to create the our web applications. But now, because this is a JavaScript library, so we have to install this, or we have to first initialize this particular thing into our local machine. That is why we are going to use this particular node and npm commands. So this diagram is telling you कि भाई how you can bringing empty React project into your local machine through npm or npx. Okay, so we are going to do that first, and we are going to. So how it do is that, imagine there is as a React server. There is something known as the React or the like a server. Which is in the Facebook. So like they will provide you the empty React code. They will provide you the empty React project that you will install in your local machine. And in that empty React project, now you will start building the application into that empty React project. Okay? This is how the flows goes. So how we are going to install it? We are going to install with those npm or npx command. Okay? So this is the command that we're going to use to install this particular bringing initializing this particular React project into our local machine. So let me take you to the React here and click on the new terminal. cd week 6. Now here, what we are going to do is we are going to write this particular command npx create react app and app name. So this is a by default like a reserved like a command that will help you to create or initialize an empty React project into your local machine. So what we do is npx create React app and whatever the app name, like whatever the app name we want, we want to name our project. So we can name our project like something known as the CRA or my app. Okay, my first, just make it small, my app. Okay, so npx create react app. Okay, so npx is like one of those npm commands. Okay, so that is why we install the node. Okay, so that is why we install the node or the particular npm in the very beginning. Why? Because these will help us to install or initialize something into our local machines from the outside world. Using this particular npx is one of the like npm kinds. So npx will help us to initialize this particular react project from the react server, and if I press enter, so you will see that it will start initializing our react project. So this will take time around 2 to 3 minutes. So as you can see, creating a new react app in this particular folder, and it will start downloading all the react files. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we run this command and it will start downloading the particular React from the server. So it is downloading the particular empty React project into our local machine. So till now, Divyanshi, uh, what we have covered is that we are initializing a empty React project into our local machine because we are going to now build application using React. Till now, how we used to do is by using the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But now as we are starting the React.js, as we understood the basics of React.js, now it's time to write the code. So, as I told you that React.js is a JavaScript library, which means that we have to install it in our local machines or we have to initialize it in our local machines. So, this is the particular command that we write in our terminals. That what it will do, it will generate a empty React application. It will generate an empty React particular like a repo into our local machine. That particular is why I'm saying this is an empty React project, because it will give me a like a blueprint. It will give me an empty blueprint, like a empty folder. Now in that particular empty files, I will start creating my application. I will start writing the UI. I will start writing the logic that will help me to create a website. But the main concept is that we use this command npx create react app and then your app name, any app name. In my case it was the app name my app. And now what it does is by installing packages, installing react and all these things into your local machines. Okay, so we understood this using the npm and npx. That is why we are using npx. Like we are, because these are the commands that will help us to install something from the outside world. That is why we install the node or npm at the very starting of the lecture, or the course. Okay, so I ran this command and then it installed me some packages. Okay, and now as you can see in week 6 my app, it installed a bunch of packages uh, into my code, okay, into my local machines. There is a public folder, there is a sre folder, there is a package.json. We will understood each and every file what they all do, what they are for. Okay, but for now let's run this particular empty react project. Okay, it is empty, which means कि भाई it is a basic empty project that is in your local machine. Okay, so what it says कि भाई you start cd my app. So we will go to in our particular app, and then it says कि you do npm start. So we write npm start. Okay, so it will take some time, like 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, because so this method is known as a CRA method. So whenever you will say or see somewhere कि भाई I'm creating a React project using a CRA method, like I'm initializing a React project using a CRA method, which means create React app. CRA means create React app. Okay, so we did the npx create react my app, it installed, then we go into the particular project, and then we started it. Then we started it by using the npm start. So it will start my react project. Okay, so it will take 2 to 3 minutes because uh, yeah, so it is starting right now. But let's see other things also. Okay, this is a basic difference between npm and npx. Generally, see, npm, npx, all these are the sub part of the, like, the node. That is why we installed node at the very beginning of the course. Why? Because we want to use all these commands. Why we want to use all these commands, like the npm start, right? Like the npm start and all these types of command. We wanted to use all these types of command. So generally in npm we tends to install something, and npx we tends to initialize some project or some app, which mean in simple means कि भाई whenever we use npm, this is one command that will add a react icon, so that it will provide a react. So this is a library. Okay, react icons is a library that will help you to, that will provide you some icons for your react project. Okay, so as I told you, na, it is a library, so we have to install it from the outside world. So we have to install it in our local machine. So we do npm I. Okay, but in case of initializing something, like a application, like a empty project, we do npx. So this is the basic difference between the npm and npx. No one is going to ask you what is the difference between npm and npx, but I just tell you. Okay, so as you can see, I did npm start. Okay, and then it says compile successfully. Now you can view app in your browser on your local machine, and this says back. So if I go to my basically it will automatically open a new tab in your browsers, and you will see on localhost 3000 it started a empty react project. Okay, it started a empty react project. This is a react logo, and this is an empty react project. How did I create this? By using this particular uh, npm create, sorry, this is the next step. uh, npx create react app. This is known as a cra method. Okay, cra method. uh, okay, so let's understand the folder structure of this particular react empty project. Okay, what is this node modules? The first folder is the node modules. See, we are initializing react. Okay, I told you na कि भाई React is made up of, see, React is a library, but it is made up of some of, like, a lot of different small libraries that it needed to run. Okay, so when I did npm start, so basically behind the scenes it is running all those small libraries that is required to run our React project. Okay, we don't want to go deep in that because we don't have to study all those small libraries. But these are something known as the, like, the to run your React project, to give your React project a help. Okay, so node modules contain all those type of dependencies. These are known as the dependencies that will help your React project to run, or not just run. Okay, they contain so many, like, so many dependencies that will help your React project to run, or to help you make build applications. Okay, so we don't have to go deep in that. Okay, node modules is, we don't have to go deep in that. Okay, node modules, whatever the package we will install. Okay, like, as I told you na, कि we will install like, this is one library. Okay, npm react icon. So this is a icon library that will provide icons to my React app. This is an external library. So whenever I will install this particular external library will come into this node modules. Why? Because node module consists all those parts that will help to create my applications. Okay, it's just like a folder. Just imagine this as a simple folder that consists of all the files that will, like, the that will what that will co- that will contains all the folders which help our React project to run. Okay, node modules is that. Okay, public is the folder that contains the, like, the assets of our particular folder, like the uh, the favy icon, like the browser on this top of the favy icon you can see now. So all these images and all these things, but it contains an index.html file. Okay, it contains an index.html file. We are going to look at this index.html later, but we first understood we first understand that key we should first understand all the remaining parts. Public folder like contains your index.html is the main part, but all the like images and all the assets of the particular website. Okay, the main or the heart of the React project is known as the src. Is known as the src. ठीक है. So src, what src contains is, src contains the main code of your React project. Whatever the application you are going to build, whatever the website you are going to build with the React.js, it will contain all those code inside this. ठीक है. So it contains different like the app.css will provide the css. ठीक है. Let me remove this for now. ठीक है. app.js will app.js is where you are going to actually write your React code. ठीक है. Where you are actually going to write your React application. This is the app.js, as simple as that. ठीक है. App.test we don't need, so I'm going to delete it because we're not learning about testing. ठीक है. Index.css, again, the css file. Index.js is another JS file that will see. I told you कि भाई React is broken. Like we create components in React. ठीक है. We create components in React. So app.js is one such component that I will write code in, but index.js will render my that component onto the browsers. ठीक है. Onto the browsers. So the main concept behind this is that कि भाई we know, ठीक है, we will cover this later, but just for now कि imagine कि index.js is the app.js is the part where we are going to write the code, and index.js is the part that will render this particular app. So like I told you na कि भाई we write components in React, we make components in React. This is one such component. Don't look at the what don't look at the particular code base, right? Particular syntax. This is a React syntax, but this is a one such component. And in index.js, we are rendering this particular component. You are seeing something known as the React DOM.create element root.render. Okay, so in simple means it is rendering this particular index. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, revoke report web vitals. We don't need that, so we will delete this again. Okay. Okay, let me delete it. Setup.testjs, again we don't need it. ठीक है. Package.json, ठीक है, and log.json is say are both the same. See, a very important file in our React project or in our project. ठीक है. Why? Because it is like the it is telling you in the summary कि भैया what particular libraries this particular React project is using. ठीक है. और can use it is like a it's like a कि भाई summary. ठीक है. It's like a भाई ठीक है जैसे कि you go to the exam hall, right? Like on your before the exam you get a like a what can I say, like before the exam you got a list कि भैया this particular person will sit in this particular room. ठीक है. This particular person will sit in this particular room. It's like similar to that कि भाई it's telling कि भाई these are the particular things that you are using in your React application with the versions of it, with the particular versions of it. ठीक है. So as soon as I did install in my React, this particular package.json file is telling me कि भाई you install React of this particular version, which is the 18 version. ठीक है. You install something called as the React DOM. ठीक है. React scripts, web vitals, testing, just ठीक है. These are the particular dependencies what I told you same कि भाई in node modules, these are the name of those dependencies, but node module contain all those dependencies in the node modules. ठीक है. Like these are just the name of the dependencies, but all those dependencies are in the node modules. ठीक है. Scripts is like the command that will help us to run our particular React application. So like whenever you are confused कि भैया how to run my application, you come on to package on JSON and you go on scripts and you see something कि भाई what are the scripts it consists. ठीक है. So we have we have one script known as the start, which says कि भैया it will start the React project. React scripts dot start, but we don't have to go deep in this. What basically it's saying in simple language कि भैया we are starting a like how we do this by using the npm start. So when I wrote na कि when I wrote npm start here, when I wrote npm start here, so where when I wrote npm test npm start, ठीक है. So अभी I don't know why it is not coming, but like see it is running. So I wrote I wrote let me again start it. So when I write npm start, ठीक है, when I write npm start, it will start my React project. How? When I write my npm start, because in the scripts in the package.json, okay, right now this screen is coming because I removed the CSS files, like I removed the code from the CSS. That is why this is now looking right now, okay, only the HTML part. But as soon as I write npm start, it is going in the package.json, and it will find something known as the scripts, and it will find start. कि भैया this person has asked me to start a particular React application. I will find what is the start command. So then we are actually running a start command. ठीक है, we are actually running a npm start, but behind the scenes this particular thing will get started. This particular thing will get started, and that is how it will start our React project. ठीक है. So what if, see, now if I create something known as the npm run, ठीक है, I run, and if I paste same this thing, ठीक है, if I paste same this thing here, ठीक है, compiling, let me close this, ठीक है. Now the concept is same, like, ठीक है, we don't uh, we don't have to bother about the name here. We can write anything here, but whatever the scripts, this is the main part, this is the script that it will run. So what if I do npm run, also let me npm dev, ठीक है, let me change it to run, because actually run is a reserved keyword, so we can't write run. But if I do npm dev, will it run? Let's see. It is saying कि भैया did you mean run dev? Okay, so we have to run npm run dev. So now it is starting the application, as we started our application using the npm start. Why? Because I created a new script using dev, and then I wrote the same script that it was hitting it. It was written it here. Okay. So it is saying कि भैया this is a simple thing to know. Okay. So I will remove this, because we should always keep one script to run our application. So we have npm start. Okay. As simple as that. Okay. Excellence, we don't have to worry about it. These are the things that will help you to find bugs in your like particular code. Like bugs means कि भाई, like the small syntax bugs, ठीक है. And in production it is giving you by whenever you will will you produce a production build of this particular project. Production build मतलब कि भाई अभी this is in deployment, कि भाई we are writing code, we are testing this particular code. So अभी this is in deployment, but whenever we are going to host it, so we are not actually going to host our particular this code. We are actually going to build it means कि भैया we are uh, actually going to build a production part of this particular code, and then we are going to host it. So it is saying कि भैया this your whatever the production part you will build, it will have this particular upper version, it will have some these commands. So even I don't know more about deep in that. And then the deploy development part, it is saying कि भैया you are in development mode, and you can run your application in this particular Chrome like the browsers versions, ठीक है, all these kind of thing, all these things, ठीक है. So you don't have to go in deep. The only important things are in here is the dependencies, okay, and the scripts, and here is the name of our app, which is the my app, okay. So package.json is like a summary, okay bhaiya, what your React libraries consists, what your thing. So whatever the libraries we will install from the world, all those dependencies will come here, okay, all those dependencies will come here, and you can see the version कि भैया which version has been installed in my particular React project. As simple as that, ठीक है. Other than that, we don't have anything else to, ठीक है. So let me, so whenever you start a empty, this is an empty React project, ठीक है. We are going to edit this, or we are going to now build an application using this particular project, ठीक है. As simple as that. So whenever you whenever you initialize an empty React project, you should always first clean your project, ठीक है. So clean means कि भैया you first go to your app.js. Okay, so you need to install one extension which is known as the React um, ES7. This is the one most important extension that you have to install if you are learning React.js. ES7 plus React Redux snippets. So what it will do is कि भैया we have something known like we do something ना कि भाई if we shift and if we press shift and exclamatory mark, sorry, it is not showing. ठीक है. So like in HTML ना कि we use something like we do something like shift dot exclamatory mark and then it provides a and as soon as you press enter like in this particular code demo dot like this is HTML. Okay, so as soon as I will do this and I will press enter, so it gave me a whole empty React HTML file. In the same way, it is the VS Code intelligence. So in the same way, we have to install this particular extension so that we can just start writing the in the same way we get this like the structure of the empty code okay, into a particular thing. So we will remove this all, we will remove this particular code and then we write something known as this okay. So this is the simple functional component. Don't worry about this, we are going to learn what is this okay. Just don't look at the syntax right now, we are actually going to learn this okay. But what I did is I did something known as RA. So it gave me suggestion and then I click on the RAFCE and it gave me a empty, similar as the when we do the in the HTML part. Okay, so how I am doing this is being done with the help of the HTML, the particular extension that we have installed. Okay, so we delete this particular HTML. Index.js, remove this. Now remove this report web vitals. Delete this. Okay, setup.test.js also remove this. Okay, so it is giving me error. Why? Because we were using those files somewhere in our code. So we were using those files somewhere in our code. We will remove this from here, and we were using these import vitals from here. So we will remove this also. Now we are good to go. So like now you can see successfully. If you are going to an error, it will show you all the errors in this particular terminal only. Okay. What else do we need? Let's go. Yeah. So now it is giving me app. How app is coming? Because in the app.js there is the app. So if I remove this to hello world, or this is my first React application. This is my first React application. Okay. So this is where we are going to write code and index.js. It will what it in simple terms we are going to understand it later. But in simple terms, it is going to render this particular code that we are building it. ठीक है. Don't worry about भैया .js में हम HTML कैसे लिख रहे हैं. What is this? All those things we are going to learn this. ठीक है. We have just initialized an empty React project. ठीक है. Any doubts still here? You can ask me. ठीक है. So we have understood this. Another method of initializing a React project is this. Okay, so we have initializing a React. We have uh, initialized the React project using this particular npx create React. Okay, that will also that will initialize a React project. Okay, but we can also initialize using something known as the Vite. So Vite is like a, imagine this, Vite is like a bundler. Okay, it is like a bundler. Bundler means that it consists of different frameworks. So by let me also show you how we can do this. So let me close this and then let me add a new folder. So yeah, let's do one thing. CLS. Now I'm in my week 7. So what I will write, I will write this. Okay, npm. npm why? Why npm? Before we were initializing, but in this particular thing, we are installing Vite, and then Vite will help us to install a particular thing from its bundler. So I will show you what is the bundler thing. What I am saying. So npm create app Vite at the list, and you will press enter. Wait, I will show you what is this. Okay. As soon as you will press enter, this is the second way of initializing a React project into your thing. It will say enter the project name. So let me enter my project name as the Vite or the Vite app. Okay, okay, as simple as that. Then I will press enter. Now, bundler things mean by that कि Vite is kind of a bundler that it will provide me different methods of initializing different frameworks. ठीक है? So previously, what I was initializing a React project, a only React project into my local machine. ठीक है? By using this React create React by using this create React app. ठीक है? But as we know, Vite is a bundler. ठीक है? So it will give me option कि भैया what application or what framework do you want to install in your particular application. So I will use my arrow keys and I will come on React because we have to install the React. So I will press enter. Now it will give me कि भैया uh, how do you want to use your React, either with the JavaScript or either with TypeScript. So we are going to use the JavaScript because we have not done the TypeScript. So we will use the JavaScript. Okay, and then it will say कि go to in cd my app, cd vite app. I will go to cd vite app. Okay, now what is this npm install thing? Let me go to my week 6 and let me come to my vite app also. Okay, as you can see, all the similar there are, if you compare my app and the Vite app, all the things are similar. There is packet.json, ठीक है? src app.jsx, they have app.js, like that. They are similar things. Don't worry. Index.css, main.jsx. In this main.jsx, it is the index.jss. ठीक है? These all the things are the same. ठीक है? But the only difference between both of these things is you were seeing something known as the node modules, but in this Vite app or the particular project we have created, there are no node modules in this particular project. There is a no module folder. Okay, why? Because we initialized a React, ठीक है, are empty React, but now we are going to initialize whatever the node, whatever the dependencies that it needed to run the application. So that is why, see, that is why I have written here कि Vite is a excellent choice for developers looking for fast and efficient development tools. Why? Because कि भैया it, what it do is कि before we were installing node when we were initializing a React project, but in Vite we first install the React in our laptops. Now we are going to install the node modules, okay, or the node modules folder. So for that we have to install, we run this command known as the npmi. So npm install, what it will do, it will add a node modules to my Vite app. How it will add my node modules? As I have told you, we know something known as a packet.json. So it will go to my packet.json and it will say कि भैया this particular React application needs a React DOM. So I will download the React. This particular application known as the types v.js. These are the dependencies it need. So I will download all the needs plus the other dependencies or other libraries that will help our React project to start. So I will click on enter npm install. Okay, so it will install all those dependencies, and now you can see in your Vite modules folder will come. Someone came. Sorry. Okay, so as you can see, after installing, as you can see, a node modules app came here. Okay, in the Vite part. Okay, before it was not there, but as I did npmi, now it is there. Okay, so this is the advantage that Vite give me कि भैया you first select a framework and then you install that particular thing. I will download it. I will give you a chance to download all those dependencies later. Okay, so how will you do that? You will do that with the help of npmi. Okay, now I run that npm run dev. Okay, and then it will, as you can see, how, like, if you compare the timing. Okay, so when I initialize a project using create React app, it took me like 2 to 3 minutes to like build the whole project. Okay, but if you are seeing with the Vite, when I'm initializing a React project using Vite, like within 10 seconds or 15 seconds, it created me the whole project. So if I click on this particular thing, localhost, so it will open up. It is, okay, it is it has open a it will open a empty React project. Okay, empty Vite plus React. So everyone, like when I was initializing an empty React project by using CRA, which means the create React app, you were seeing only the React. But as we are installing this using the Vite, so Vite has created their own like README file for that. Okay, like your own UI for that. Okay, as simple as that. So now you can see the difference between the speed. I have shown you both the methods using CRA and using the Vite part. Okay, as simple as that. So like I always build applications using Vite because they are very fast. You have seen that. Okay, but you can choose any of those methods. I think either using the create React app, or I think either using the Vite app. Okay, so it is simpler, faster than the CRA. Okay, as simple as that. I have shown you that also. Okay, let's so what I will do, I will keep the Vite app. We will use the Vite app only. Okay, and I will remove this particular my app. Okay, so we will start building project into the Vite app only. Okay, the one I have created with the Vite. Okay, Vite React app. So I will go into src app.jsx. I will remove this, and here also you have to do the same by using srafc. You can just uh, you have to import this. You have to like simple empty file. So if I go back to my React, you are seeing app here only. Why it is in the middle? Because we are using some index.css. So remove this all again by using app.css. Remove this all. Okay, so now you will see app is coming here. If I change it somewhere, if I change it, so hello world. Okay, so now it is showing me hello world. Okay, now let's move on to the next part. What is the JXX? Okay, JSX stands for the JavaScript XML. It's a way to write HTML inside the JavaScript code. Okay, so this particular whole syntax is a JSX. Okay, this particular thing, especially this particular thing, is a JSX. Okay, so we write React in the JSX. Like we have JavaScript and HTML. Like we have we build an application in JavaScript. So JavaScript is one application. Okay, JavaScript is one programming language that will help us to create applications. In the same way, JSX is the syntax of React. So we write React application in the JSX part. What is JSX? JSX stands for the JavaScript XML. Okay, it is a way to write HTML inside the JavaScript code. Okay, inside the JavaScript code. That is how we are writing the HTML. This is HTML, right? This is a div type. This is the HTML. But as you can see, this is a arrow function as well. As you can see, this is a arrow function as well. If you write function, let me create a function. Return. Okay, if I go back, you are seeing it coming. Okay. Okay, so like, this is a simple function that is returning me a HTML. Okay, that is returning me a HTML. So JSX is a JavaScript XML. It is a way to write HTML inside the JavaScript. Imagine you have a toy that can transform into another toy. JSX lets you write HTML inside JavaScript, and it transforms into something that computer can understand. Okay, so why we are writing JSX? Because first thing is that React needs it. Okay, uh, first thing is that the React needs it. Okay, second thing is that JSX is much faster than JavaScript when we are writing the React application. When that particular code is when that particular code is being given to browsers, and then browsers will run that particular code. It is found that while building applications in the production mode, while building applications for like when you are creating an application in production, like this is in production, right? This is in development, right? So when we are building an application in development mode, so JSX is much faster. Is found like JSX is much faster. And of course, like the React, we can write like the React uses a JSX syntax. Okay, this is a simple thing that you have to remember. Okay, whatever the thing we are going to write, how we are going to write the code in React, we are going to write in JSX. Okay, what is JSX? This particular like a HTML inside JavaScript. This is a simple thing that you can uh, say whenever the interview will ask you about what is JSX. It is a way to write HTML inside JavaScript. Okay? When you write something using JSX, it gets turned into a regular JavaScript code that browsers can understand. Okay? When you write something in JSX, it gets turned into the regular JavaScript code that browsers can run. Okay? So I have told you in the beginning of the course कि भाई browsers only understand JavaScript. They only understand three things: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. No other language than these three languages, like sorry, the JavaScript is the programming languages, but no other these three languages they can understand. ठीक है? So भैया you are saying अक्षत you are saying कि भाई you are going to write code in JSX, but you are saying कि भैया कि browsers only understand JavaScript part. ठीक है? They only understand JavaScript. So when you write something using it gets turned into a regular JavaScript code that browser can understand. It is like having a magic translator that turns your code, mixed up code, into something useful. Okay? So we build applications in React. We always build applications in React. But behind the scenes, when we are seeing this particular thing, hello world, it is being converted. This particular whole code is being converted into three files: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This is done by using something known as the transpilers we have in our React particular project. Okay? So these are compilers are used to compile our project, and transpilers are used to translate a particular JSX into JavaScript. Okay? Into JavaScript and HTML. What transpilers do React use? Babel is one of those transpilers that React use. There are other transpilers. I don't know about all the transpilers. React transpiler, other like there are. I don't know. There are other transpilers as well. You can just go on Google that. But one such transpiler is the Babel transpiler that will convert your JSX part into an HTML plus JS. Why? Because at the end, JavaScript browsers only understood the JavaScript part. Why we are doing this? So, like because our browsers only understand the HTML and JavaScript. So, if I show you in my node modules, you can see something dependency known as the Babel. Okay? As the Babel. If I go down in this thing, you will see something known as more of the Babel. Like you can see something, we can see something known as the Babel, and it has also it consists of many different libraries that it uses. Okay? So like one such library is the Babel. So why? Sorry, why? Because Babel is a transpiler. Why we need that? Why it is in Node modules? Because I told you Node modules will consist all those things that React will use. So why we have Babel in our Node modules? Because React will transpile our code into the particular HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay? As simple as that. Okay? So summary, JSX is easier for us to write and read. A transpiler like Babel translates JSX into regular JavaScript. The translated code can be understood and run by the web browsers. Imagine you have two sets of logos, one for the building structure HTML and one for adding special features JavaScript. JSX is like a special connector piece that lets you easily combine these two sets to build awesome Lego creations. ठीक है? Lego creations means कि भाई we are building an application. How we used to build those applications, we we used to build those with the two different sets of logos. One we have a HTML, and then we used to write the JavaScript. Okay, two different things. But React in React, we use one thing known as the JSX. It is like a special connector piece that lets you easily combine two sets of to build awesome logo creations. Awesome logo make in awesome logo creations means awesome websites. ठीक है? As simple as that. ठीक है? So this is one thing that you need to know. Transpire very important. What is the second thing is that key they have something known as the bundlers. ठीक है? I forgot to mention it in my uh, slides, so I will do that later. Okay, but let me. It is a small concept, not a big concept. So, but these are the important. Okay, these are the important. That is why I am telling you, because these are the important concepts. Like an interviewer can ask you, कि भाई, what is a transpiler? What transpiler do React use? So you can say, कि भाई, Babel Simon transpiler. So we talk about the transpiler. Transpiler, one way we use. There is something known as the uh, Webpack. Webpack. ठीक है. So this is a React application. This is a React application, and it is written in JSX. Transpilers, what do? They build this application into something known as HTML plus CSS plus JavaScript. They, okay. Now here comes the part of a web pack. See, the it will build application. It will build all those things one by one. Okay, one by one. First, it will build a HTML, and it will build a JavaScript, and it will build a CSS. What Webpack will do? Webpack is one such thing. As you can see, it is like a tool. Okay, as you can see, very simple thing. It is like a tool that it will bundle them all together. It will bundle them all together in folder known as the bundle. Okay, so this, the folder name is the bundle only. Okay, so this will bundle all those three things and all the other, like images, your images, and all the other assets in one such bundle, okay. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all those things, and this particular bundle will be given to the browsers, will be given to the browsers, and then browser will run that bundle and will show you a particular website that you are building in React. Okay, so just a small concept कि भाई transpiler helps to convert your code, but Webpack will bundle all those HTML CSS in one particular file, and that bundle is being sent to the browsers. ठीक है, as simple as that. Not a big concept to know, but these are the two things are very important for the interviews. ठीक है. Any doubts still here? You can ask me if you don't understand JSX. You can ask me in chats, and if not, then we can move forward. Okay, so we are going to write JSX. Don't worry about that. But for now, just understand that we write React in JSX. Okay, okay. These are the very important concepts for your interviews. ठीक है भैया. uh, we knew कि भैया something, we are going to build components in our React, and all those components, like our home page, will be divided into different components, and all those components, like those components will define a particular project, and we are going to import that they are the usable components. Okay, as I showed you uh, in this particular slide. Right, a navbar will be a component, and those hero section will be divided into components. About me will be a different component, and then we will call them into a single file. ठीक है. We will call them into single. So these are known as these components. ठीक है, as simple as that. But there are two types of component that we can build. ठीक है. One such components are known as the function components and the class components. ठीक है. Components we understood कि भाई, uh, using components we are going to actually build the UI or the website. Okay, but we can build that particular UI into two things, by either by using functional components or either by using class components. So now we are going to look कि भाई, what is the difference between functional components and the class components, and why everyone everyone today in the world is writing their application in the functional components. Okay, we will also look that. But that does not mean कि भाई we should not understand the class components. We should understand the class components as well, but not in deep. But yeah, at least we have a blueprint कि भैया, before functional components, class components were only used to build the websites, but now everyone builds their application in the functional components only. So a component like a usable piece of web page, as we all know, functional components are just function that return HTML. Okay, JSX part is known as the JSX. We all know, like JSX is a syntax, but like the function, we are creating a function and it is returning me a HTML. Okay, this function is like this function is a JS. Okay, and it is returning me a HTML. So functional components are just functions that return some HTML. class components use a class to define a component and extend react.component. This is a very jargon concept. This is a very like a ठीक है, दिस इज तो भैया समझ आ गया, बड़ी सिंपल इसमें लिखा होता है इंग्लिश में. व्हाट इज दिस क्लास component? Use a class to define a component and then it extend so like see now if you have done this some थोड़ा सा भी आपने अगर वो करा है ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग कि वेयर यू डिफाइन अ क्लास एंड देयर समथिंग नोन एज द क्लास एंड द ऑब्जेक्ट्स, ठीक है, एंड देयर इज समथिंग नोन एज द इनहेरिटेंस encapsulation, all these principles or the pillars of the oops we can say. So this is a class. So see, by default we have two different types of thing, ठीक है. One is the functional programming and one is the object oriented programming. In object oriented programming, uh, we know कि भाई we write code in the terms of class and objects, ठीक है. But in functional programming we build functions and we use those functions to create the particular code. In the similar way, we can write components into two different form, as simple as that. One, we can write in functional components, or either we can write in class components, ठीक है. So class components use a class to define a component. So we are defining a component using a class syntax, ठीक है, using a object oriented part of programming, ठीक है. And extend the react dot component. Extend means कि भाई if you've done oops, you know कि भैया whenever we use extends or like we are extending something like a parent component or like the inheritance part, okay, like the inheritance part. If we are if you have done that, okay, and oops, so extend means कि भाई this particular component is extending a react dot component which is a parent part. So we will understood this, we will understand this, but this is how it looks like when we are creating a react when we are creating a class component, and this is how it look like when creating a function component, okay. If I show you the code, what is this component? This is a functional component. Why? Because we are using the functions. Okay, as simple as that. What if I can I create a this into a class component? Yes, I can create a class component. Do is RAC. So like install that particular extension, and if you will write RC, it will give you suggestion that React class export component. Click on this, and then it has created a sorry, yeah, it is. Let me remove one part. Yeah. Okay. Import react this, okay, okay, let me remove this also. Now I think we are good to go. Yeah, so now this is a class component, let me remove this also. Yeah, this is a class component, okay. Now if I go back to my application, you can see why it is not coming, does not provide export dot default check. Will it work now? We refresh this. Yeah, now the app is coming, okay. So this is a class component, as you can see. So what I was telling you, कि भाई we can create a component either in functions or either in class. So you can create a class कि भाई class something app, and that particular class will extend a component that is the parent component. Okay, that is the by default React dot component. So what you can do is you can just remove this here. If you have to go it React dot component, and we are good to go. Like in this na extends dot React dot component. So extend dot React dot component. Okay, this is the two things. Like we are going to create a components either in function or either in class. As simple as that. Okay. In this course, we are going to use functional component, and not in this course. Every website that today startups are building, every software that today startups are building, or every application, whether it's Netflix or whether it's the Facebook itself, they are all using the functional components. Even in which organization I work, the Plone Foundation, they have repositories that were before. So the functional components came after 2015 or 16. I don't know the exact year, but they came after the 2015. So before 2015, we used to write our React into class components only. So there were the repositories that were written in the class component. So now they are shifting from the class components to the function components. So like I am working on one of those repositories where I am converting this class component into these function components. Okay. So everyone is using the functional components. Okay. So we will discuss this. Don't worry, we will discuss this more about the class components. We will going to write code into class components. We are going to build application in class components, and then we are going to build that same application into functional components, so that you get the clear understanding of कि भैया why class components is we are not using. The one such reason is कि भैया they are like, see, when you come into the part of a object oriented programming ना, so like everyone gets the feeling कि यार ये class और object ना, मतलब मेरे को समझ नहीं आता. This dot, if you are doing Java then this dot, ठीक है, all those things ना. So in the similar way, class components were like, uh, when the functional components were created, people find it more easier to write instead of class component. Okay, so we are going to look, but we are going to learn both of these things, okay, the class component and the functional components. Okay, so time is up. Tomorrow we are going to build something, a simple homepage in React.js using functional components. It should contain following components: navbar, hero, about, footbar, and then we are going to like it's a simple homepage that will help you to see कि भाई how we are creating a component, how we are calling them into one part. But I think today is enough. We covered about the initializing a project. Okay, we can initialize it either using Vite or either using create react app. Then we understood the whole project structure. What is this package.json? What is this node modules? What is this app.jsx we are going to write? Okay, what is this index.jsx? Okay, as simple as that. And what is JSX? What are transpilers? What is Babel? And the Webpack, and then we understood the functional components. Okay, so I think we are good to go. Tomorrow we will build application, a simple like a just a simple application, and then we will start learning about the concepts like what are the state and props and the hooks in React, and then we go deep and dive all those things. Okay, so this will be interesting. But the only thing I need from you is to revise all those things, or revise the JavaScript, because eventually we are writing the JavaScript only. The concepts of the JavaScript, the methods, array, all those going will be same. Okay, so just revise all those things. So if you have any questions, you can ask me, and if you don't have, then you can go. We can end this meeting. ठीक है, okay. So like you can go. Yeah, okay. We will meet tomorrow at 6 p.m. Hey, you any doubts, Sai, Naveen? Okay, okay. ठीक है.